Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 148 of Fibertown. I'm Emily, and this is Alice. She has no Ravelry username, but I am Chain of Fools, and I'm Fibertown with an RE on Instagram. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I am on the mend from my illness, strep pneumonia. That was fun. Yay! Walking pneumonia, not too serious, but a first for me. So I'm attempting to talk for an extended period of time again, and I'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm in my craft room today, and it's been a while since I've been in here, but it's a beautiful sunny morning, and it's cold though, and I'm wearing a hand-spun cowl. And yeah, I thought I'd tell you about what's going on in the knitting side of things, the crafting. So I have knitting, I have talk of sewing, I have spinning and fiber prep, I have one acquisition, and then some upcoming events kind of things. But first, let's talk about the along. The along this month is the nature along. The word of the month is nature. So go into the thread and see what people are doing. There are some amazing things. Please go because, oh my goodness, awesomeness resides in that thread on the Ravelry group. If you would like to say hi, introduce yourself on the Ravelry group, that would be lovely. I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. And we also have a winner of the new along, which was the March along. And oh my goodness, I completely forgot to pick a random winner. So we're going to ask Siri in just a second. And I will show you what the winner's going to win. All right, let's take a look. The new along. All right. Hang on a sec. Siri, pick a number between 2 and 151.
The answer is 19.
19. Thank you, Siri. Hopefully it's not me. I usually like to do these things ahead of time. It's just makes much more sense. Okay, so not knitting is number 19. She's from Diana. She is Diana from Ottawa, Canada. Congratulations. You know what you win? This gorgeous bag, close my internets, this gorgeous bag made by Intuit Knits. She has the Intuit Knits podcast. How gorgeous is that? It is adorable. These kind of weird zombie folks. And inside it is some Dale of Norway. I think this is their sport or DK base hawk. 2 of the green and 4 of the yellow. Because nature. Made me think of nature. So congratulations. This will be coming to you as soon as you send me your address. I'm going to put that down here. You're being very nice today, aren't you? We're just going to hang out today. We're going to DC later. Yeah, I said we because Alice will come in the car with me. Yeah. She's very smart, my Alice. Yes, you are. We went in the car somewhere. I'm saying all the trigger words. We went in the car somewhere last week, and she's pretty good off leash. She, if I say stay, she freezes. With the exception sometimes of squirrels. Yeah. So we went outside. She didn't have a leash. And I said stay, and she stayed. And I said okay, and we walked together. Yeah, we walked. And I said, okay, we're going to get in the car. And she made a beeline the other way to the car. Because she likes to go in the car, but it makes her fall asleep. And I wish you could see the face because her teeth are like this. I love my dog. I won't apologize for it. She's fun. She's sweet. She's my nugget. All right, so let's move along to not works in progress, FOs. I finished a sewing item, and I'm laughing because it's for my 8-year-old, who has been on a mission to acquire all of the parts of the Link costume from The Legend of Zelda. And we've mostly found them around the house, or in this case, I made them. I made him some pants. I got some, he wanted them to be white. I know, he's an 8-year-old. He's like, Mama, I think we can wash them. So, and he's right. If they get dirty, no big deal. So I got some yardage of just white ribbing, and I took some pajama pants and used them as a model, cut them out, made them smaller because I'm using ribbing, and made Link pants in like 20 minutes. It was great. Some things should be sewn or made in other ways than knitting. I saw this t-shirt yarn yesterday, and people were like, yeah, you can use it to make, what were they saying? T-shirts. I'm like, I think I'd rather just sew up a t-shirt. Anyway, I digress. Yeah. So sort of like medieval tunic-y kind of pants. I gotta share this with you in a minute. Medieval tunic-y kind of pants, and they go up to like his rib cage. And I didn't finish any of the edges because of the way I cut the ribbing. It's not gonna unravel. But yeah, no like elastic required. It reminds me a little bit of a woman putting on pantyhose, basically, when he puts these things on. But he wanted them tight. Like, I made them loose, and he's like, no, make it tighter. So, yeah. So, Link, if you're not familiar, Legend of Zelda is like a 30-year-old, at least, Nintendo video game. And, oh my gosh, it goes through so many iterations. But Link is an elf, and he's on a quest, I guess. I'm not, I've learned a lot, relatively, since my kids both like it. But yeah, he has a sword and bow and arrow, I think. And we have all that now, too. And he wears a green shirt and a green hat that kind of falls over to the side, like a stocking cap. Well, hello. Thank you for putting your butt right on me. All right. I made the weakest coffee this morning. I don't know why. It's terrible. So that is a sewing finished object, and I want to show you a knitting finished object, you guys. This is silver spun out of silver spun yarn. I'm going to show you the tag. All right. I'm going to do that. Are we going to do this like this? Okay. So this is silver spun from the Feel Good Yarn Company. Why don't you pop off for a little while? There you go. Feel Good Yarn Company, silver spun, combed cotton, silver nylon spandex. This is some fun stuff. I gotta say, I was skeptical. And frankly, I never would have. It's not a yarn I don't think I would have purchased on my own. And I was sent this by the Stitchcraft Marketing Company to try out. I have been wearing the heck out of them. These are Agatha socks by Claire of New Hampshire Knits. Look at that beautiful, beautiful pattern. It's very potato chippy to knit. Have you seen the Yarn Harlot has been knitting this pattern? Mm-hmm. So the silver, I believe this was developed at the University of North Carolina, which is very cool. And this technology of putting the silver in the yarn. Just before I talk more about the yarn, look at the wrong side of the Agatha socks. They're these sort of lozenge shapes. Also very beautiful. Very beautiful. So I'm putting these back on because I love them. They have nice stretch. I've talked about the knitting of the yarn and how takes getting used to. I found the second sock significantly easier as far as handling the yarn, so there's definitely a learning curve. And the silver is purported, I don't know the science behind it, but it's purported to have therapeutic qualities. Whether or not that is true, I'm a big believer in the placebo effect. And I have worn these to bed a few times because they're cotton, they're not too hot, and it has been very cold here. And I have slept super well. So I will take the placebo effect. It is okay with me. I love them. As I said, it's not a yarn I would have gravitated towards because clearly I like wool. and these have no wool, but I think they're kind of awesome, and I actually wish I had more. I would love to make some mitts. The silver gives this kind of tweedy look to it. That was my foot. Yeah, so unexpectedly I find myself wanting more. So that's my review. Your mileage may vary, but I like them. I like them a lot. So that is it for FOs, although I'm getting close, you guys. I'm getting close on these socks. All right, this is out of some Highland Handmaid's Handspun. Let me just grab my other blocker. Made for me by Judy Banducci. And thanks, Judy, again. And these are out of Cheviot Wool, Handspun. This was the second Highland Handmaid's Club colorway this year in her fiber, Iris. This sock is a sport weight. Oh my goodness, they knit up fast. I need more sport weight socks. I think just wearing sport weight socks around the house would be a really good way to cut down on wear of my fingering weight socks. Because I tend to wear through my socks. Okay, so Cheviot in the Iris colorway. This is the traditional 3-ply in my traditional vanilla sock. 48 stitches because it is a heavier weight sock. And I kind of love it. Now the second one, let me see if I can put that on here as well. The second one is out of the, the chain ply. Now I've gotten a kind of weird break where I did the gusset, unfortunately. Well, it's no big deal. It's a sock. I don't want to treat my socks as if they are works of art. They're a sock. I am very much into function. I like form and function pairing well together, but ultimately, I'm a very functional person. Function, that didn't sound right. I am function oriented. So you see what I'm talking about right there? So I've done the heel flap. You know, if I did like afterthought heels, this could be avoided, but I don't. I don't like them. I don't like how they fit me. I don't like how they wear. Anyway, so here I did the heel turn, and I'm naturally flowing now into this dusty blue. But as I'm picking up gusset stitches, and you can see I knit them through the back loop. It's kind of a rude change from the pink to the dusty blue. But this was the chain ply, so all the colors are more or less together. So, two very different but similar socks. I knit all this yesterday afternoon. Now, as far as my other works in progress, I haven't done anything on my sock yarn blanket this week. I have done nothing on my threshold sweater, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, just to see if the lighting in here will show you what the yarn actually looks like. Not really. No, not really. Never mind. Was curious. Nope. All right, so that will hopefully get some play very soon. Guys, that is really it for works in progress. I do have the design work, which has also not gotten touched. I was on a push to finish some fiber prep and my socks, and I did both. So let's talk spinning. Spinning. Don't you love wool? Okay, I want to make a plug for my handspun shelf hashtag. Hashtag handspun shelf. It does not have to be a shelf. It can be whatever container you use. There are some pictures on Instagram. I am going to, darn it, I was going to bring out a prize. There's I want to do an Instagram giveaway. I've never done that. I'm such a Luddite. But yes, I want to do a giveaway for hashtag handspun shelf because I just love seeing them. There will be fiber given away and a spindle. It will be a turtle-made spindle, a supported spindle. You know, I should, if I were like a good podcaster, I'd pause this. You know, probably just should. Hang on. You know what? I'm going to pause this because Alice wants to go outside anyway. All right. Okay, I'm back. I'm giving away fiber. So hashtag handspun shelf. Yes, I'm not sure when I will draw for it, but here's the prize. It is a turtle-made supported spindle. This was donated by Sarah, my co-host on Fiber West, and it's got a nice little spin. I think that's a Triskadelian. Is that right? Some sort of Celtic design. It's a lovely little spindle. So that will come to you, as well as 3 ounces of Fiber Monster. There are 3 beautiful green bats. A Fiber Fairy Godmother gave these to me. Aren't they gorgeous? Let me see if I have the details on the fiber content. It looks to be silk. There's no fiber content, but Fiber Monster Waterfall, 3 ounces. So let me show you these all together. There's definitely silk in there. Beautifulness. So, put your handspun shelf pictures on Instagram and you will be entered to win. A nice supported spindle. Oh, it even says Celtic. It's pretty, right? And 3 ounces of gorgeous fibery bats. Okay. Handspun shelf, hashtag handspun shelf. And go on and see. You know, my logo, as it were, for the podcast is my handspun shelf. It was a basket at that point. It's a picture of what was in there. And what I adore about a handspun shelf is how it evolves and changes. And I can look at that logo picture and say now, oh, I made a baby sweater for a friend out of that, and that became a hat, and that was one of the first things I spun. It's a history. Your handspun shelf. It's a type of personal history. Just like your Ravelry page. So yeah, do that. Okay, more spinning. Where do I start? All right, I'll start with this. This is 500 yards, 4 ounces of hobbledehoy merino silk. Superwash merino silk. Oh, 460 yards, sorry. You know what? I probably had 20 more yards of singles that are just still on the bobbin. Beautifulness, hobbledehoy fibers. Now, I spun this thinner than, I guess I kind of went on autopilot. And superwash merino with silk, it's going to spin thin. I did a 2-ply. I don't like to spin with yarn this thin. I mean, knit with yarn this thin. I don't know why I do this sometimes. You know, pretty thin. It's not been washed. I hope it floofs. It's just gorgeous. It's plums and lavenders and golds and turquoises and some whites. It's more of a teal than a turquoise. Spun woolen style from a worsted prep. It's amazing. I don't know what it will become. It'll go on the handspun shelf. And where's the tag? Oh, here it is. Tell you what, cleaning up after a podcast episode is interesting. Okay. More spinning. Well, it's really just fiber prep from this point on. I have finished combing my Shetland money penny. I decided to do, since it's been so cold, I've combed most of this outside because of the veg matter in it. But I made this sort of table runner, which is really kind of ugly. I like this side of it, but it was a technique sort of learning thing. I've been using this as a lap mat for processing fiber. And then I just fold it up and shake it outside. Discard all the veg matter. Okay, so Money Penny was a little Shetland ewe, and I purchased her fleece from the folks at Ross Farm who have her and take care of her. Amy, Ross Farm Amy, told me that she's still pregnant. Not Amy, the lamb. The sheep, Money Penny. The sheep is still pregnant, and she's getting anxious to see what's going to pop out. So, Money Penny has two colors to her fleece. Emskit, which is this, and Fleckit. And the Fleckit part is sort of a cape along her back, which you could see. I don't think I have a picture of the fleece, but you could definitely see when it was laid out. Her coloring is very cool. It's just so bouncy and so soft and so lovely, and it's just great stuff. I combed all of this with my Valkyrie combs. There's a 2-pitch, meaning 2 rows of tines. They're pretty big combs. I don't put them on. I don't clamp them to a surface, but I might be doing that in the future because my Lincoln fleece is, I think, going to require that. Now, Money Penny she has a little Shetland ewe. She has a 2-pound fleece, and I got less than 50% out of that. Now, that's because I chose to comb it, mostly. So I learned a lot from Money Penny. Just gorgeous. So this is total 12 ounces. There's 6 ounces of each color. I was amazed that they came out so even. I thought there would be more of the Emskit. So let's see. And these are all little tribbles, combed nests. Pardon me, still have a cough if I talk a lot. What did I want to say about this? I'm picturing some sort of color work, like a yoke. I don't think I have enough for a whole sweater. I don't have enough for a whole sweater. I'd love to make it into a 3-ply, and I definitely would not have enough for a whole sweater from a 3-ply. But I can definitely pair it with other wools. Or maybe just get some, maybe what I'll do is get some more Shetland yarn from the Ross Farm next time I see them. What did I want to say? Oh yes, so 2 pounds. So first of all, you lose weight when you wash the fleece from the lanolin. Now, when I washed the Shetland, I really didn't know that you have to be careful with temperatures in Shetland. It will felt easily. Mine did not felt, but it cotted. So, that's a few steps below felted. It's quite a few steps below. But that meant that, well, for 2 reasons I wanted to comb it. One was to deal effectively with the cotting and to get rid of any neps that may have created. And combing works beautifully for that. The other reason was that it had a lot of veg matter. A lot of veg matter. And, she's a sheep doing sheepy things. It's all right. But the combing got rid of a ton of that. Carding would trap a lot of that, I felt. So, it would get rid of some of it, but it would trap a lot of it in its fibery nebula. So, combing was my solution. And I knew that I was going to get a lot more waste. Combing always generates more waste than carding. So, yeah. Now to the spinning. I think I will do a 3-ply. I'll sample a 2-ply and see how I like it, but I want it to go into a sweater yoke, so I think a 3-ply would be harder wearing and rounder. Would also look great for cables, though, wouldn't it? I'll have to think on it. So I'm very pleased with myself. I finished another fleece. Yay. And on to the next fleece. Now, this was my Maryland sheep and wool purchase of last year. This is, he doesn't have a name, but he was a Lincoln. He got a red star. I think he won a prize. He was coated. I say he. It just feels like a he. I have no idea if it was a he. If it was a whether or a you. But this was a Catoctin Vista Farm fleece. Shepherdess is Jan Wright. I paid $60. And that's because it was coated, for one thing. Price is gonna go up. 6 pounds. So, does anyone want 3 pounds of a Lincoln fleece? You will need to comb it. I say that with pretty firm confidence. The coloring is amazing. This has been washed. It's still pretty lanolin-y. Just let me show you the color. This is my favorite color part of this fleece. Lincoln is a long wool. Lincoln is the base breed of a lot of breeds a lot of people today like. It's I think a Polworth is a Lincoln Ram and a Merino Ewe. Could be wrong. But Lincoln is definitely in Polworth in the genetics. So it is a long wool. It does not have crimp like the Shetland, for example. It's got more of a wave to it. It has luster. It has, let me show you this part, some darker parts as well. So it ranges from charcoal to silvery gunmetal gray, just gorgeousness. There's one lock. I would say 6 inches. About, maybe some a little longer. Prize winning, Lincoln. So, yeah, I'm looking to get rid of half of this fleece. And I'm crowdsourcing it here. PM me if you're interested. As I said, you're gonna need to comb it. I think this would get crazy tangled up in a carder, or hand cards, or a drum carder. I could be wrong. Maybe there is a carding cloth rather, that would accommodate that, but I've never heard of that. Obviously I don't know everything. So, yeah, that's gonna go on my combs next. On my drum carder, the Rambouillet Corriedale from Rhinebeck, the brown one, is gonna go on next. I'm gonna get that worked out. Now, that is all. Yeah, that's all for spinning. Let me show you acquisitions. I just have a few. One of them is a big spoiler. So, if you are in the Highland Handmaids Fiber Club, avert your eyes if you don't want to be spoiled. I'm waiting. Have you averted? Okay, here it comes. This is Superwash Targhee. This is, where are we? April. This is the April? Wait, no. This is March. This is for March. This is going to be amazing. I'm not sure how I will manage the colors yet. This is called On the Rocks. This is, as I said, Superwash Targhee. It's not a base I have spun before. I have spun Targhee, regular, but I would love to somehow spin this so it looks speckled. I don't know if that's possible, but very beautiful, very beautiful. I have loved every single one of them that I've gotten so far. There was a little candle that came with it that smelled like spiced jelly beans. It was really nice. Now, speaking of spice, I went to Looped Yarn Works yesterday and hung out with the folks there. And I picked up this Highlander. I love the way this smells. It smells like men's cologne to me. Oh, I just got a little citrusy bit. Anyway, it's a little low bar. Really good stuff. Now, I think this is a tongue-in-cheek thing about Outlander. And my mother just texted me that text you heard earlier. Outlander starts Saturday. I know, Mom. I kind of follow that stuff on social media because I'm a fan. Yeah, so now I have a Highlander Lolo bar. Yes, maybe I'll cast on a project. Maybe I'll cast on my exploration station on Saturday for Outlander. Have you guys thought about making one? Sarah from, my friend Fiber West is making one actually. She is making one. I need to cast mine on. I wanted to get socks done first. Okay, that's it for acquisitions, but I have one more thing to talk about. And I had this last time and I forgot. The 43rd annual wonderfulness, that is Maryland Sheep and Wool. The Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. May 7th and 8th, Howard County Fairgrounds in West Friendship. The hotel is booked. The babysitter is lined up. And I will be sitting down soon to plan my day, my Saturday. I plan my Saturday morning, I would say. And then I just do whatever I want. Just soak up the positive energy that permeates this festival. People are just so happy and they're glad to be there and they're with like-minded people and they're surrounded by sheep and gorgeous things to buy. And I have been planning. I plan. So the sheep of the year for Maryland is Finn wool. I would love to go to the auction, but it's always during the podcaster meetup. But I might go and just sort of cast an eye over what is available. I do have something to sell this year, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in the auction or try to crowdsource it. I think I'm actually going to put a for sale notice in the Maryland Sheep and Wool group. And it's for my triangle loom. It is a 7-foot Carol Lee cherry wood triangle loom. I bought it secondhand. And I made a shawl, which is lovely, out of handspun. But I'm not interested in keeping it. It's a gorgeous piece of equipment. Beautiful triangle shawl. Nice size. I wanted a big one. A big loom, and just fits the bill, but I find myself not using it and not likely to use it, so I'm going to, if you're interested, go look in the Maryland Sheep and Wool group. I will put a post up about selling it, and I want to, it can come apart, and it's very easy to transport. It comes apart into 3 pieces. The hypotenuse is longer, than the other pieces, but, if you can carry out 3 pieces of 3 by 1 inch wood, as in depth and width, depth, length, they're 4 feet, 3 feet, 7 feet. Then yeah, take a look if you're interested, and I can bring it and sell it. Or if no one's interested, then I might put it in the auction. I'd rather not though. So yeah, very excited. Friends, wool, food eventually, sheep. I love visiting the barns. It's just a wonderful time. So, are you guys getting excited too? Does anyone want to join Tesoro Stitchery in her spinning class with this apparently amazing spinning teacher? Highland Handmaids chimed in on the thread in the Ravelry group that this particular spinning teacher is really wonderful. So there's another thread you should check out in the Rav group. I think it's called Tesoro Stitchery posted it, and I think she called it, "Did you get shut out of Maryland Sheep and Wool classes?" So take a look. I think the first place I go may be the fleece sale. That might be the second place, actually. I don't know. I need to plan. So, okay, yay, only 36 minutes this week, yay. I've been trying, I don't know why it's been getting so long, but I've always tried to keep the podcast at about a half an hour and have not been doing that lately. So, all right, you guys, till next week, take care. Bye-bye.